I'm back in Le Mans Ultimate. There's a new update, version 1.3.3. In this video, I'll be checking out the new LMP3 they added to the base content, the Adess AD25 LMP3. And of course, it was chaos on Monza, as always. Unfortunately, my live audio didn't record. For some reason, OBS just wasn't recording the microphone. So being my first multiplayer race in a long time, I was pretty nervous starting out, and I actually didn't get to qualify. I'm starting in last place, and that's fine because I'm really trying to just stay out of trouble and avoid all incidents at all costs. So going into turn 1, I really backed off. There's smoke ahead, and seems like the guy that started next to me locked up and basically took everyone out. And I managed to make it through clean, gaining 6 or 7 positions right in the first turn, so that's pretty insane. We're up to 420 subscribers now, so that's awesome. Thanks to everyone who subscribes and leaves a comment and hits the like button. It really helps a lot. Going into the second chicane, there's another accident. I managed to get through, then after I exit, there's cars just spinning all over the place. Somehow I managed to maneuver through all of them, and that puts me up into position 10, so gaining 11 positions in the first 18 seconds of the race. So coming up, if you look in the mirror, you can see the driver behind. I think he ends up turning in maybe on the front end, or locks up and ends up spinning off pretty bad. So it's definitely a really chaotic lobby. There's definitely a mix of skill. This is split 3 in a Bronze Daily race, so I guess you kind of can't expect too much. I think I'm the only driver with the rookie badge in here too, and this is only my second multiplayer race since the badge system had come out, so I'm definitely extremely rusty on LMU and still haven't quite figured out the braking yet. I've really been into Assetto Corsa Rally and Automobilista 2 lately, so going into the final corner, the driver ahead spins. I think he had gotten some damage from the incident previously. It looked like the driver spun and hit his rear quarter panel. So that was a really sketchy first lap. On to lap 2, going into the second chicane, there was a driver that spun on the exit. This is also the driver that's ranked number 1 in the lobby, so that puts me in 8th position. I'm still really having trouble getting consistent with my braking points, and it does look like I at least have pace to maybe get in the top 5. Onto the 4th lap now. It looks like a driver ahead misses the braking into turn 1 and rejoins in front of me, so now we're actually got some battling going on. Schofield in the Ginetta ahead. Looks like he's maybe a little faster, but I'm guessing his tires are overheated right now, so it maybe would have been better to just take it easy for a lap or 2. It does seem like maybe he's struggling a little bit to keep it together. I do have affiliate links in the description if you're interested for the wheelbase and pedals I'm using, the Fanatec CSL wheelbase and SIMSONN Plus X pedals, and my microphone and webcam and everything else too, so check that out if you're interested. I think there's supposed to be another pretty big update later this year, next month, which will be their 1-year anniversary for the official release. And that also means that there's a pretty good lineup of LMP3 cars now, so there's actually some variety to the car you can choose, even though it seems like most of them are very similar. There was also some updates to the hypercars and GT3s, like Evo versions and Joker versions for the 2026 season, so that's really cool to see. Going into the final turn, I back out, and I'm just trying to avoid the damage, or I didn't want to dive bomb there. I really wasn't alongside him. And I lost quite a bit of time that lap. We're on the 6th lap now, and going into turn 1, it looks like there's another incident. A driver spins on the exit, and that puts me up into 7th position. And going into the second chicane, Schofield ahead ends up going wide and loses it a little bit and ends up in the gravel on the exit. So I end up getting up into 6th place, and so far this is going way better than expected. I really wasn't feeling confident at all. If you look in the mirror behind going into turn 1 on the 7th lap, Mitchell got the overtake on Schofield. Hopefully he can hold him off a little bit. At this point, I pretty much decided I was going to let him through. Going into Ascari on the exit, a driver goes wide and ends up having a really bad crash into the wall. That actually put me up into 5th position, so wow. At this point, I plan on letting the driver behind go if he gets a run on me. I don't really want to battle too much and lose time, and he is a much faster driver. That was the fastest lap I did this race, a 146.7. So I'm still very far off pace in my opinion. A couple seconds at least. And that was a very clean overtake by Mitchell. On lap 9 going into the chicane, I end up going wide on the exit, and Schofield behind gets a little bit of a run on me. At this point, I'm again thinking I'm just going to try to let him get around if he goes for a move. And he does send it up the inside. It was a little late, but still a great overtake, honestly. Just enough room for him to get through clean. No incidents at all, so that's good. So I was trying to get a little more aggressive here and battle back a little bit, and I end up locking up the rear and having an insane slide I somehow saved. I really thought I was spinning and going into the wall there. And that puts the driver behind right on my tail. They actually had just came out of the pit stop. That's the driver that had just hit the wall in Ascari before, so they're actually a lap behind. But at the time I didn't notice, and I also started noticing I didn't have a lot of fuel left, and it was going to be pretty close on fuel, so I'm looking for how I can change the fuel map. And I don't find it. So going into turn 1, the driver behind actually misses the braking a little bit, and I have to slow down and wait for him to go by before I can turn in. He does. At this point I was like, come on, like, you're gonna give the position back, right? And he is a lap down, so, and he does, so thanks for that. I think it was a really fun race, and I hope to do more videos like this and just get more into the online multiplayer again. I'll still be doing some videos on Assetto Corsa Rally and Automobilista 2 and Assetto Corsa Evo, so I just hope to mix this in a little more often too. It's been way too long, and I really do enjoy Le Mans Ultimate. And this is the final turn going across the line. I end up finishing in 7th position. Overall, I'm really happy with that. I was freaking out about the fuel the last lap or two. I really just picked a random amount of fuel that I thought was going to be overfueling. I think I took 40 liters for a 20-minute race. That I gained 12 positions, so I'm really happy with that, even though it was kind of like mostly by people crashing themselves off. Thanks for checking out the video. Consider checking out some of these other videos on the end screen, and leave a comment and let me know what you think of the new Le Mans Ultimate update and the new LMP3. I really enjoyed it. So far, it seems like it's actually a really decent car to drive, and it's maybe a little understeery on the fixed setup, but it handles the curbs well and doesn't seem to have any major problems that I can tell so far.